Hello, everyone. This is May from May We Talk Show. Today we have a guest come here, join our show, and his name is Mitchell Levy. Hi,
Hello.
Mitchell.
Hi, May.
Nice to see you.
The May We Talk Show is kind of a great name for you.
Thank you, because my name is May. You're a marketing expert, and you have the credibility program that's to help the entrepreneurs to build their own image and to build the credibility through the public program.
Sure. So let's see, a little bit of background. I've been in Silicon Valley for 35 years. I've started 20 odd companies. I've sat on the board of a NASDAQ company. I currently have a book publishing company. We've published over 750 books. And I've started 4 executive business programs. And then what's come out recently, between 2019 and 2020, I interviewed 500 thought leaders on credibility. So I was able to produce a book, international bestseller in 7 countries. I was able to do a TED Talk. The TED Talk is titled, "We Are Losing Our Humanity, and I'm Tired of Watching It Happen." So if you want to just Google my name, Mitchell Levy, TED Talk, or just look for "We Are Losing Our Humanity" on TED, you'll be able to see that. And the call to action, the approach, is simply, if we want to bring back our humanity, we need to act more credible. And so what I've been able to do is come up with an approach, an updated definition of the word credibility, and I have a community. And so for those people who want to live, work, and act credibly, those people who want to surround themselves with other people who are credible, there's a community. And the value of the services we deliver is $97 a month, and we are charging $10 a month, because credibility is a journey, not a destination. And I want you to come and join us on the journey and stay for your entire life, because we're all growing and learning and figuring out how best do we show up as humanely, as credibly as possible.
Okay, so basically for the monthly payment, what are they going to get?
We have village leaders. So we feature a village leader once a month. We have a weekly email with just a 2 to 3 minute video. And then we have communication in areas that people have a specific expressed specialty in. And then there's also courses. And so I'm going to say something to me that was shocking. So in doing the interviews, these are 500 thought leaders, 500 smart people. 98% could not articulate who they served and the pain point they served without clarity. 98% of the people I interviewed could not articulate their purpose. And so we have a course. Part of what gets bundled into Credibility Nation are a series of courses. And there's one of those courses. It is 30 minutes long, and it can help you articulate your purpose, your CPOP, your customer point of pain. And it is the foundation for which people can then express themselves so much better in communicating with each other.
Okay, so basically you will be providing the coach for those classes, right?
The classes are online, so they're self-paced. What happens is we do have village leaders. And so you could sort of call them as coaches, but we have people who are facilitating conversations in multiple areas. And for me, I'm facilitating a continuous stream of content and learning on what is credible. So I'm answering questions. We do a 10-minute video once a week on what is credible, and I answer as many credibility questions as I can, and we share that. And so there's just continuous learning and growing, and new people joining the community and sharing their thoughts on what they think is credible.
Okay, so basically you provide the answers to the questions occasionally, was like 10 minutes and to spend. So what if they have specific questions that's out of the list? Are you going to provide the guidance in person?
So we do. So I don't know if it's always in person. So we do have a forum, and that's where people interact with each other. And so a lot of times people come in with particular credibility questions, and the community itself will respond. And when I see the questions, I'll respond as well.
Okay, so you do have a networks that can for them to communicate with each other and help each other to learn and maybe self-answer those questions, right?
Yes. Oh, it's the coolest part. It's not about one person sitting up top answering questions. It's about your peers in the community and asking questions and getting feedback from people. Right. And we find that really, really valuable.
Okay. So how big is the community so far right now?
We just started in April. We're now about 225 members.
Oh, that's a pretty good number. Yeah.
It's a start. It's a start. So, so I have to say, I'll show you this one thing. This is the most important thing. This is now my life purpose. My life purpose now is for us to tip the scale between those people in the world that are credible and those that are dubious. Now, so 225 is a small number. When it gets to be 225 million, then we're on our way to a much bigger number. But anyhow, you got to start somewhere. And I'm excited about the receptivity we're getting and the ability for people to communicate and truly show up the way, as it turns out, the same person who shows up, whether it's the art studio, whether it's home with family, whether it's at work, whether it's in a corporate boardroom, it should be the same person. And for some reason, we're not taught that. And so I'm allowing us to go back to a much more fundamental, much more realistic, much more easier to remember. And if you do it right, a much more fun and loving way to conduct business and live life.
Right. So what are the industries that you have been helping so far? The business
industries sector. Well, as a book publisher, so Credibility Nation's relatively new. With 225 people, we have a lot of speakers, authors, consultants, industries, many. So I'd
variable.
Yeah, it's pretty variable. As far as a book publisher, we published 750 books, and generally speaking, I'm trying to think about most, I can't say all industries. If you go by SIC codes, there's a ton of industries, right? But we're talking about a lot of, I guess, generally speaking, it's almost an even split between business to business and business to consumer type products and services. And it's pretty varied. I haven't done a lot of pharmaceutical. We've done a lot of financial services. There's definitely a lot of sales and marketing. There's a number of horizontal and vertical marketplaces that there are people who we've both written books for and are part of Credibility Nation. Kind of open. It should be very open-ended. And the cool part is when somebody stumps me with a question from an industry I hadn't heard about before.
Okay, sounds good. So how do you think your program is going to help the business for the owner?
It's simple. It's really simple. If you're not credible, you don't have clients. If you're not credible, you don't have business. If you're not credible, you don't have a family.
Right. Okay. So you're gonna just help them to resolve those issues and maybe give them the guidance how to do it right.
Well, I think so. I almost want to say yes, but I'm going to say yes. There's no 100% absolute right or wrong on anything we do in life. A lot of times people are doing things poorly because that's what they were taught. People are doing things dubiously because that's what they were taught. When I was doing the interviews, it turned out that 23% of the people I interviewed showed up late to the interview. Late. And I believe that's because they weren't taught better. They weren't taught when you're doing an interview and it's live that you should come at least 3 minutes early. Typically, I recommend 10 minutes early. 4% of the people I interviewed came after the hour for a live show. I have to assume that they didn't do that on purpose. They did that because their calendar was busy and they just weren't taught that to show respect, you want to come to a live interview 10 minutes early, right? So a lot of what is here is just common sense practices that apparently are not common sense that we just need to start educating each other on.
Why do you think it's important for me to take your program? And what do you think you can give to an artist, like the suggestions on this?
Oh, it's a great suggestion. So here's the thing. Artists, are like other humans. It's just that your product, the product you're serving, whether or not you're an artist where you're drawing or sculpting or singing or writing, right? As an artist, you're producing an asset. That asset is for sale. That asset which is for sale is like any other business that produces an asset that's for sale. It turns out that the best representative, the person who's selling that art that you've created, is you. So if you're an artist, you need to know how to be a salesperson. You need to know how to do customer service. You need to know how to be a marketer. These are not skills that are difficult because we are all born that way. We're just taught and we're beaten out of us by going to a horrible school that talks about the wrong things that we're supposed to do. We're taught not how to be successful as people producing products that we could sell. So if you're an artist, the most important thing is, well, how do you interact with somebody who might be interested in buying your painting or product or sculpture or whatever it is? And so at the end of the day, it's if you just treat them like another human, you treat them like they're credible, that you respect who they are. Somebody who wears a suit and is in a boardroom is still a human. That's the same as you sitting around and in the types of clothes you might do to paint all day or sculpt all day. And two humans talking to each other and exchanging value for both products and services. It's all just being human. The way I say it, being credible to each other. And so there's just some fundamental things that we're just not taught in school. And it's, to me, I don't want to say it's simple. I just want to say it's just part of human nature, exchanging goods and services. So if you're an artist, how do you need to live? Well, you need to love what you do what you do well, and be able to sell enough of what you do so you have enough money to pay for everything else. And so to me, that is part of what we cover. I mean, it's, I can't tell you we're the be all end all, but it's the right place to go to start asking questions. And we had a meeting, about 25 people came, and we talked about that. How do people see you? As a matter of fact, specifically today, we focused on how do you create videos of yourself in such a way where people can get to know you better. So as an artist, how do you create videos of yourself with your products so people get to know you better? So they get interested in you by way of getting interested in your art.
That's a very good suggestion. Actually, a lot of artists, they know how to make good artworks, but they don't know how to market themselves and build a professional image of themselves. So people don't know about them well. And I think that's the class that's necessary for the artist who wants to go for better career and better opportunities to present to the public and improve themselves in a professional way. And I would look forward to see more and more artists would join your program.
I'm looking forward to that too. And I'll just say it again. If you produce something that's really beautiful, what's interesting is the person who buys it, they want to be able to tell a story. So what story are they going to tell? Well, they meet you, whether they actually physically meet you or they meet you via a video where you're talking about yourself and the art you created, they now have a story they'll remember and something they could share with friends. And although that may not be powerful or interesting to you, it's interesting to the person who buys your product. And so it's just seeing other perspectives that add value.
Right. Yeah, we just have a Miss Economic World beauty pageant online, and we have the top 10 winners. They are from the modeling, role. Now we're trying to provide them with the trainings. We have Superstar Online Academies that providing the training class to them. So we invite the professionals like you to give them the training classes. Maybe you can share some experience with our top winners to help them to become good, ambassadors for the brand, to in the future.
I'd love that. As a matter of fact, what I would say is, um, what we can do is let the winners get access to Credibility Nation to take that half-hour course, which is how to articulate your, essentially what it is how do you articulate your purpose? Mm-hmm. And to be able to do that and learn how to do that in 30 minutes is really powerful.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. And if anyone that's interested to learn more about the Credibility class, you can feel free to contact us and contact Mitchell Levy. Thank you for joining us. So Superstar Foundation is the nonprofit organization that's supporting artists. We are registered in Texas. We are 501c3 regulated, and that's why we do the charity art shows, and we organize an event like a beauty pageant to promote the women artists. And also we have a Superstar Contribution Award annually to give the credit to the people that contribute to the society with their nonprofit effort. And those are the things we do in our foundation. Also, we provide the platform for the artists to improve themselves, to promote them, give them job opportunities, and help them to improve themselves. So let's look forward to work with you closely in the near future.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me. Nice to spend time with you.